Honestly, it's my favourite product at Dior. The hooded eyes, if you want to be able to really see the eyeshadow. If you need to put something to it, if you concentrate on something for me. Don't concentrate on a light, that's going to make you...
No, I'm on side the light. Right, take it.
I can see on your account, obviously, that you've been using some of our foundation stuff. How have you been getting on with that? Are you happy with how it's all sitting on your skin? Happy with the shade?
Yeah, the shade's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's 3N, isn't it?
Yes, 3N that we've been using.
Yeah.
And then we use a shade lighter in your concealer as well, just to brighten the under eye. Do you still want to continue that today?
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. And then it also says that you've been using our 01 in the blush, which is slightly more pinky.
Yeah.
Did you like the pinky blush, or do you want to try something new today? Try something a bit more corally, a bit more, yeah?
Yeah, try something
different,
new, please.
yeah?
Yes.
And then do we want to keep the skin nice and bronzy, glowy, bit of both?
Bit of both, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're kind of getting into spring.
Yeah,
yes.
Of course, it brings you into that sort of summer mood, doesn't it?
Yes.
And then with your foundation, obviously we can build up the coverage if you want, or did you want it sort of that medium kind of coverage today?
I don't know. What do you think?
So what you've done with it today looks more of like a light coverage with it. Obviously you said you're going out tonight, so does that mean you wanted a little bit more but not too much?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, make it more of an evening look for you.
Okay.
And then what about the eyes? What kind of thing are you thinking for the eyes? Something bronzy?
Sultry, I don't know.
Okay. Do you like a bit of sparkle, a bit of shimmer, or are you more lean towards your mattes normally?
More matte, I think.
Okay.
But definitely sort of darker eyes.
Okay.
Because I go for like the brownie palettes for
Yeah,
daytime.
of course. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So keep those kind of neutral tones for you, but then bring in some of the darker browns, maybe. Yeah. And then we could always use a little bit of shimmer just in the inner corner to brighten the look and make it more of an evening look, but nothing too out there for you if you like your mattes normally.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine then.
Anything else that you wanted to sort of achieve with your makeup today?
No, I think it was just like going for a darker bronzer, trying a different tone.
Perfect.
So the lighter pink, I can keep them for like proper sort of summer, and something darker for the evenings.
Yeah, 100%. Let's give that a go then.
Okay, then.
Okay, so this is the milk cleanser, which is just a little bit more hydrating than normal sort of micellar water or anything.
Yeah.
I know you said that obviously you're using Lancome for your skincare at the moment. Do you use their makeup remover as well? Or
I
just
use
the
everything.
cleanser?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a bit of a seal. I did used to use the cleanser, the milk cleanser. Right, I've got to ask, what am I smelling at the moment? Is it perfume that you're wearing? Or
Yes,
is it
it's the perfume I've got on.
What's the perfume?
So it's actually a mixture of two, which isn't helpful. Well, also it might be the hand gel. This is Miss Dior hand gel, so that's what my hands will smell of.
Okay.
Try a little bit. I love it. It's absolutely amazing.
Bear in mind, I don't like any perfumes.
Oh, do you not normally? You're not normally a perfume girl?
No.
Okay, so this, it's just, give it a second because it's got alcohol in it. Yeah. If you're smelling it, then you might get a little bit drunk. So it calms down and it smells nice with that.
Yeah.
My other perfume is obviously there's that. There's the Miss Dior, the new one, the Parfum. When it's satisfying, it's beautiful because it's got rose with green jasmine.
Right.
Now, green jasmine, when it's picked, it's not fully blue. That's why it's still green.
Yeah.
So it basically means that it has this sort of fruity finish to it. Kind of smells a bit like strawberries.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's honestly gorgeous. It's one of my favourite perfumes.
So is there any smell to the cleanser?
There will be a slight smell. It's alright. When I do a fresh pad, I let you have a little smell.
Yeah.
So, but everything with your skincare, as I'm sure you've been told, is all sort of natural based. All hand-picked, all of our flowers for everything, our skincare, our fragrance and our makeup. Yeah. So with this, obviously a lot of the scent will be natural from the flowers that we picked. Now, the milk one, I just prefer it because I feel like it's a little softer on the skin. And it's obviously, if you're going for that glowy look, it's going to keep it nice and hydrated instead of sort of removing the good oils. Yeah. I think normal micellar water is normally for sort of skin that's a little bit on the oily side. Obviously, I know you mentioned you had combination skin, but this is good for both types of skin.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. You can have a little smell.
Oh,
think it's
actually,
that?
it might be that. It's probably a combination of everything.
Yeah.
Actually.
Of just the room. It's Dior smells, honestly.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of our rose serum first. So the rose serum is one of my favourite skincare bits that we actually have here at Dior. If you see this, you see all the micro pearls.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been spoken to a little bit about this one before. But the micro pearls basically target those micro inflammations in the skin. You only need a small bit. I've done 2 pumps there. And so with your serums, they work from the inside outwards because they penetrate the skin and go to the bottom layer of the skin, whereas your moisturisers will work from the top layer inwards.
Okay.
So that's why we always say use a serum and a moisturiser as part of your skincare routine. It's because they kind of have different jobs, but when they work together, then you cover all layers of your skin for hydration. Now the Prestige products as well, they have a flower in it called the Rose de Granville. So the Rose de Granville, this flower is extremely hydrating and extremely firming to the skin. It not only reduces signs of ageing, but also actually reverses it as well. So same with the creams are quite thick and intense. So because we want to keep quite a nice light look, we're not going anything too heavy for your makeup. I'm more tempted to use the capture today. But the Prestige cream would be really nice for sort of night use or anything like that, or when you're not going to put makeup straight on the top. So, okay. So this just will give the skin a nice glow before we've started as well. Okay. Just realised I've not got you a mirror, so we'll have to get you a mirror. That's alright. Well, obviously you've got that one. You've got a big one there. Okay, so this one's the capture cream. Now I know you said you had boxes ticked between both.
Yes.
So that obviously shows that you're fine to use both products. This one is just a little bit lighter on the skin than the Prestige in my opinion, which just basically means that it's going to sit nicer with the makeup. If you have a cream that's too heavy before your makeup, it can kind of cause peeling or something between your foundation. Are you happy for me to use my hands if I sanitise them before? Yeah, no problem. Perfect. Some people are a bit touchy about it, especially after COVID. So. Fine. Well, you've had your facial here and everything, exactly. So I hope you're okay with it. So we're just going to go in upwards motions, which just basically means that we're lifting the skin up. So have you heard about drainage systems and lymphatic drainage? Yeah. So obviously in your face, it's really important that you push away from the centre point. So on your forehead, you will come down and across it like that. But then upwards across your jawline to bring that skin up and let the lymphatic drainage just go out of your face instead of bringing it towards the lower parts of your face. Same with up here, just upwards motions like so. And then anywhere on your neck, you want to bring it down and out. There we go. And then we're going to try a little bit of this highlight shot. Now I'm guessing you haven't tried this one yet. Or?
No, I haven't tried that.
Okay, perfect. I know that obviously you've been in for a few makeovers, but this is a very new product for us. So with this, you see I've got the tiniest bit, got a really nice little applicator, which you only need a small bit for this. Now obviously when you use it over time, you're going to see better results, but it does have instant firming properties as well. So if we use a little bit and you just want to tap a little bit on any areas where you just want to plump the skin up a little bit, so just any sort of line it, and then under the eyes are my favourite place as well. Now some of my colleagues actually really enjoy putting this on their lips. I've not tried it on myself yet, but this one, what it does is it's going to ever so slightly plump, because it's plumping the areas like the under eye and stuff when you apply it. It does kind of similar things with it. It doesn't make your lips bigger, but it makes them look more sort of fuller, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it just re-plumps the lips that you've got, rather than making them look wider. They'll just look more sort of youthful, if that makes sense. And then put a little bit just across there for it, so you can give it a go. Now with this, you can put it under makeup, you can put it before you go to bed, you can put it in the morning, just whatever kind of thing fits into your skincare routine. So whilst that's sort of all settling into the skin, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to start with the eyes. Okay. Just so that as well, if there's any fallout, we can just remove it with a bit of the milk cleanser as well, just when we start. So I'm going to start with a little bit of the Charli concealer, which is the same shade that you use for your under eyes. But I'm just going to bring it across the lid just to create sort of a base for the eyeshadow to stick to. Just acts like an eyeshadow primer really. Yeah, that is what I've been doing as well. Perfect. Gives you like a blank canvas, doesn't it? Now, what would you tend to do for your eyeshadow when you do it yourself for an evening look?
Haven't been out since I've had all the Dior stuff.
Oh, okay. So you've been coming to see us instead when you go out?
I've just been going to my YouTube events or my networking events.
Oh, so you do YouTube as well?
Yes.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so what I would normally do is probably just do my daytime makeup and then just top it up with just an extra layer of maybe just darker eyeshadow.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the eyeshadow palette I've chosen. Now, I don't know if you've got this one or not. It's our backstage one. In our, it's called O1 and it's Nude Essentials. And if you see, it does have those really sort of essential colours, so any neutral tones. Yeah. So you've got your 4 matte shades here across the side and then the rest of your shimmers.
Sorry, which ones are the matte ones?
Sorry, these 2 here
in the corners,
and those 2 there.
Oh,
this one's a shimmer as
that
well.
one?
Yeah.
That one, that one and that one?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not in any particular order. So I'm going to use this one first, which is like a base colour. Yeah. Just to pat across the lid, just making sure it does have a little bit of sort of that brown tone to it. So we're more focusing it across the crease. So, but we're doing that to make sure that any of the concealer that we've got is kind of set into place. It's not too pigmented, this one, because obviously it is more of that nude tone, but it just gives you a nice base to blend everything else into. And with these kind of warmer neutral shades as well, it's going to help again bring out that really nice warmth to your skin, because you have got a little bit of a tan to you, and obviously you want to bring that out. If we've got a tan, we want to focus on that, don't we? Have you been on holiday then, or
no?
Is it just natural?
It's natural, yes.
Wow, I'm so jealous. Right, okay.
A few weeks ago I was looking very pale.
Oh, really? Yeah. Got your colour back. So this one's the shade that I'm going to go in with next. It's a little bit more cool toned than the one we started with. But again, this one I'm going to properly buff it out across the crease now. And just bring it up slightly higher and just create that seamless blend across the top 4 rows. I'm just building up that colour because it is quite a light colour, but again it just gives us something else to blend the darker colours into, because if we go in with something that's too dark and try and blend it out into just the concealer, it can become a bit patchy. And I mean, obviously if you normally have eyeshadow on when you start and then you put a darker colour on, then obviously you've already given it something to blend into. And then it is a little bit of a shimmer, but it doesn't come up too shimmery. This middle shade is gorgeous for that proper crease colour. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that as well, but keeping this slightly lower for us. And I'm going to use the exact same shade in the same place with just a slightly denser brush, just to create more of that darker tone for you that you said you liked. Now with the eyeshadows as well, obviously it's very personal preference eyeshadow, so what I'll do is obviously I'll get you to check throughout the process and see obviously if you want it lightening, if you want it a bit darker, or anything adding, so that obviously we can then complete the eyes before we move on to the makeup and stuff and check that that's what you're happy with. It's the bit where it's the most personal preference, isn't it? Yeah. So at the moment we've just got those nice brown tones, nothing too much, but then I'm going to go in with this darker shade there as well, with an even smaller brush, and I'm first going to focus it on the lash line, and then I'm going to bring it into that outer corner there, just to create like a V, which helps open up the eyes a little bit as well. Do you tend to wear like a pencil eyeliner? Or?
Yeah. There's one I'm still using. It's a Lancome one, which is put it on like the waterline, and I do it from like underneath. Because they're extremely vivid eyes. And although I have put eyeshadow on as an eyeliner on top, that's about all I use on these. You know, for lining them.
So I'm going to bring that V up slightly higher than I normally would, just because you said obviously with the hooded eyes, if you want to be able to really see the eyeshadow, I'm just going to bring it up a little bit higher for you and focus it slightly above where your natural crease is, and that's how you're going to sort of see it with obviously having sort of that more closed off eye.
Probably should have looked at the show that you did before you started blending it.
Oh, it's alright, I'll do it on that side, yeah.
What too?
So my favourite thing is you need a big fluffy brush at all times just to keep blending, because you can never really overblend, because you can always go back in with your denser brush and add more of that colour if you need to. But obviously you don't want it to get patchy and underblended and stuff, so just a nice fluffy brush at all times. So I'm not making it too neat or anything when I'm creating that initial eye shape, because it is going to be blended. So you want to go just above that crease and across the lash line there. So you see, that kind of like curve at the top, V downwards. Because if we were to bring it all the way up here, it would be far too dramatic for obviously your eyes. We want to focus in on sort of bringing out that nice colour that you've got obviously in the inner corners, those really beautiful browns, and you want to just bring that colour out rather than taking it away from your natural eyes. And if you see, because I am building up that pigment a little bit, we are getting a little bit of fallout. Obviously I'll get rid of that before we actually start applying the foundation and stuff. So that's a little bit darker now. Do you still want...
Oh yes, that's all.
Do you like it a little bit darker than that, or when we've got the eyeliner pencil, do you think you'll be happy with the...
No, I think that should be okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know you said you steer away from your shimmers. Are you tempted to try a little tiny bit?
Of course I am.
Go for a bit of a glam, yeah? So one of my favourite tips as well is, I don't know if you can see, but in my inner corners, I'll do this after we've done the foundation stuff, but I've just got the tiniest bit in my inner corner of a highlighter shade, which then just makes my whole eyes open up. Okay. And it also just gives you more of an awake look, because obviously this is naturally the darkest point of your entire face, because it's the thinnest part of your skin, it's just this little point here. So obviously when you look at somebody's eyes, and this bit's darker, it makes them look like they've got maybe eye bags, or that their eyes are just a little bit darker, whereas when you bring out the lightness that's in that tiny bit as well, again, it just makes the whole eye look brighter, it brings out the natural colours of the eye, and it will just make you look more awake as well. It's my favourite tip ever. Okay. Changes your makeup so much. So we're going to just go in with a little bit of this one, nothing too scary.
Alright.
And just bring it across that front section. Now this is another way as well, if you've got sort of your natural eyeshadows on for the day and you don't have enough time to darken it up too much or anything, put a little bit of shimmer on always makes it more of an even look. It's one of my favourite tips, because it's just literally, it takes you 2 seconds like that. 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds.
So that's the opposite of what I would have done. I would have gone for darker to make it look more intense.
Well, darker does definitely make it more evening look as well. Yeah. But just by bringing in that shimmer, if you think of shimmer, glitz, glam, all of that, you do tend to think more evening, don't you?
Yes.
Now, you can darken it as well if you've got time. But if you ever just needed something instant and you don't have time to blend out that dark colour and stuff, pop a bit of glitter on, pop a bit of a shimmer on, and it will just be a nice simple way to make it just a little bit more glamorous. Okay. A little bit of that slightly darker one, just to blend it into those darker tones that we started off with. There we go. Now when we've got the eyeliner on as well, and we've done the bottom underneath, that's going to bring it all together for you. So I'll just wipe off that under eye for you, so then we can start on your base as well. For me. Perfect. So by doing the eyes first as well, it makes you just giving enough time for that skincare to sink in, because the optimum time for your moisturiser, which is obviously the last step of the skincare, to sink in is about 10 to 15 minutes. So by doing your eyeshadow first, or doing your eyebrows first, or anything like that, or if you can even brush your teeth in the meantime, then obviously do that, because it would just give your skin more chance to absorb all those lovely oils that we've just put on, and all those sort of lovely bits of sort of floral skincare as well. So that when we then go to put on the foundation, it's not going to sit on top of the skincare, it's going to sit on top of your skin, which has already absorbed the skincare. Okay. I'm going to go in with a bit of a primer first. I want a really nice glow to my skin, I want it to look really healthy, even if I'm not wearing any makeup. Pop a little bit of this on, because it uses a water locking method to lock that hydration into the skin. So especially in winter, when you go outside, it's so dry outside, your skin's literally just struggling for dear life, isn't it? Not enough hydration, anything like this. This keeps it looking like you've got that really healthy glass skin. And especially because we don't all have time to put makeup on every day, do we? So having this just brings that sort of more beautiful glow to your face. And then obviously it creates that barrier as well between the foundation and your skin, which basically means that obviously your face isn't going to absorb the foundation, because that's the last thing we want, because obviously that's how you get clogged pores and everything like that. So a primer always creates that sort of base in between. Let's get a little bit of this foundation. So we've gone for the 3M the foundation in Skin Glow to keep that lovely glow to the skin. Now I'm just going to start off with a tiny bit, so that was a pump and a half, and I'm going to pop it into my hand first to warm it up, because then it's just going to settle into the skin a little bit better for you. And we're just going to stipple it across the skin. Now let me know if this is obviously too harsh on your skin, or if it feels okay. Does that feel okay, or is it? Yeah? So this is a little bit more bronzy than your skin, but I'm guessing that's kind of what you like, is it? Yeah? Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I couldn't wear one that matched my skin completely, otherwise I'd look like a ghost.
And trust me, the minute the sun comes out, I'll be outside with my coffee every time I have to take a coffee break, and my skin will be 10 shades darker within a few weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I go really brown really quick.
Oh, honestly, I wish I had your skin. I really did that as well. I have to go out for hours on end to even catch a little bit of a tan. We need summer to come back, so I'm not quite as pale. See, because your lighter shade is my tan shade.
It just shows that everybody's different now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm normally a 1, so yeah. Whereas with a bit of a tan, I'm a 2. If I'm lucky, a 2.5. So
winter and I'm a 2.
Just keeping that nice and light, and even though I am stippling on the skin, I'm going in kind of those circular motions just to make sure we end up with no brush strokes. And I know obviously you said you didn't want too much coverage, sort of that medium kind of coverage. So a little bit more that obviously you came in with, but nothing too heavy for you. Now I like to leave the under eye bare. I don't like to put my foundation under the under eye, because if I'm then putting a concealer on, I feel like it's too heavy. Yeah. Now I know when you come for your event as well, we've got some very exciting new launches in makeup as well. So when you pop along for that, there's going to be some liquid blushes, liquid highlighters and everything. So we're very excited for that new launch. And I'm sure you're going to love those products as well, because if you like that glowy look, it keeps the kind of glow rather than some powders, so they can kind of dull it a little bit. But I'll show you a little trick to stop them from dulling your face as well. Now as well, another tip, I don't know if you do this already, but if there is any areas where you did want a little bit more coverage, to use the exact same shade concealer. So is there any areas that you normally feel a bit too red, or you just like a little bit more coverage, or are you happy? Okay, so we're going back in with that 2M, see if we can get any out. I'm just going to use a little flat brush first, like this. So with the concealer, I know you've already got this one, but have you ever tried letting it sit for a minute before you blend it out?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do for you today, because it just keeps the coverage in the area that we want it. Obviously, if it's still really wet and you're blending it in, it's going to move all across the face. We've already put foundation across the face, we don't need it everywhere. We want to focus it on those little corners at the front, just under the eye. So what I'm doing is focusing on the inner corner there and bringing it up here. Okay. Now I'll show you this before I blend it out, obviously. This is how we're going to focus on lifting the face. I'm going to do a tiny bit just here on the outside of the lips there as well, because that does the same thing. When you blend it up, you're lifting that face and lifting those cheekbones for you. Do you see? I've not got the middle, because if we
like
put it in,
and then that around there. Yes.
So in the under eye, I've not focused it on the middle. Because if you put too much there, that's the point where it might look cakey. Yes. Which is obviously not what we want. Instead, we want to focus it on those inner corners and the outer, just to lift and brighten those darker bits. Now I'm going to let that sit for a second, and what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to spray your face with a bit of set spray. So this is going to bring back that glow, and it's going to make sure that even though we're letting this dry down, and when it dries down it goes tackier, it goes a bit thicker, and that's why it stays in place. Obviously you don't want to get to the point where it's kind of set in and you can't blend it out properly. So set and spray basically rehydrates everything, rehydrates the foundation we put on and everything as well, and just gives the skin that glow. So then when I go to blend in the concealer, it's going to be easier to blend in as well.
Before we start, setting spray and fixing spray, is there a difference?
Yes, so there is a slight difference. So this is a setting and fixing spray. So normally, for example, Max Fix Plus. That one, you just spray and it will help you fix any areas in your foundation. So an example of it would be if I let this concealer sit too long and I couldn't blend it out, I'd go in with a bit of Max Fix Plus, which is obviously going to loosen everything up, give it a bit of hydration. The setting spray locks it all in place. So because ours is natural and floral based and everything obviously natural origin, basically means that even though it is a setting spray, it's still hydrating enough that it's a fixing spray at the same time. So that's why I like this one, because it's kind of your 2-in-1. So yeah, keep your eyes closed for me. And as well, when I get hot flushes, which I do all the time, this is my best friend. I go through one of these every 3 months. Honestly, it's my favourite product at Dior. Anyone can tell you. People rave about the Charlotte Tilbury one. This is the one you need. My skin does not keep makeup on because of how hot I get, and that's the only thing that keeps it on, honestly. If you went out to that counter and asked anybody what my favourite product was, they'd tell you it's that. They know it's that.
See, when I lived in France, no one wore makeup because it was just too hot during the daytime. And that probably would, well, I'd say it would have been perfect, obviously it was there, but nobody wanted to
didn't know it was there. Well, yeah, keep this in mind, because this literally, whenever I go shopping as well, I get hot and flustered when I'm doing things like that, especially when you've got a jacket on, you're carrying bags around, everything like that. So I always keep this in my bag. So if I'm hot, I just do a spray. And another thing is as well, I don't know if you've heard of like the cooler points for cooling you down instantly, is obviously your wrist, because it's thinner, and the back of your neck. So even though it is a setting spray, if I get too hot, I spray a bit of that at the back of my neck and it cools me right down. So it's just one of those tips. I actually thought about it because my mum, she really struggles, because she's going through menopause now. She really struggles with hot flushes. And I told her to get a setting spray because I knew that when I sprayed my face at the end of my makeup, it cools me down. She started carrying it around all the time, and I was like, hold on, I'm going to start carrying it around all the time. And that's how I go through, one every 3 months. And I'm nicking hers as well, because when I run out, I need it instantly. So I'm just blending out with our slightly bigger brush, because I want to lock in the sort of coverage in that under eye. I'm just literally tapping out the edges rather than tapping out the actual product, if that makes sense. And this is how we're going to get that really nice bright under eye as well, and you'll be able to tell sort of the difference between the colours we've used, which is obviously, they're blended in perfectly, but it just lets you know that obviously you are keeping that brighter under eye. And then I know that obviously we didn't go too close into the middle, so I'm going to go in with the same brush that we used for the concealer and just literally swipe across that middle to make sure it's all blended across there. Just patting across. Just going in with a little bit of foundation on that. Okay.
So have you done anything there, or is that
so I'm literally just blending it in with the brush.
That's it.
And it's literally just lifting slightly, ever so slightly, because it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
So what will help as well is when we've done the bronzer,
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the bronzer in the traditional place of the cheekbone. I'm going to go slightly above, which again just lifts that face up massively. Same with your blush, not the apples of the cheeks, up here.
Okay.
And it just, again, you'll see the difference for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in with a little bit of powder now. So the powder that we're going to use actually matches your foundation, not the concealer we've gone for. Just because obviously the concealer's a whole shade brighter. So, and because of the technique that I've used, obviously to make it even brighter for you, we just want to obviously make sure that it blends into that foundation nicely. So I'm just using 3N in the powder as well.
Okay.
So have you used this powder as well? Or?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Last time I used powder, I think was about 15 years ago.
Okay.
And then it was just a neutral.
So this one is one of my favourite powders. It's actually called our Velvet powder, sorry. And what it does is it just blurs those areas where you're applying it. So you don't want to apply it across the whole face because then that's obviously going to mattify your whole face, and that's not the look we're going for.
Yeah.
But so I use it especially across where we put the concealer, because concealer is prone to creasing a little bit, just because of obviously your fine lines under your eye. But then also on the nose, because the nose never seems to like foundation. Nobody's nose likes foundation. So this just makes sure it sets it all into place, and then it doesn't budge. And then just a little bit on that chin area as well. So it's more just areas, especially because you said you had combination skin, they might get a little bit oily throughout the day.
Yeah, the T-zone especially.
Yes. Yeah, especially if you're using the Skin Glow. Obviously that is a very hydrating, glowy foundation. And if you're worried that you're going to get a little bit oily throughout the day, pop a little bit of this, any areas that concern you, and it's just going to stop that oil from coming through for you, and just literally make the skin just look a little bit smoother as well.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go in with the bronzer, the exciting bit. So I'll show you where I'm going to apply it. So this is your cheekbone there.
Yeah.
You'll see that the hollows of your cheeks are just below here. You've got very prominent cheekbones, which is great. But the hollows sit down here. If I was to put your bronzer down there, that's going to drag your face down, which we do not want to do at all. So I'm going to go to the higher point of your cheekbones and bring it across there. And I'm blending upwards when I'm doing it as well, not down.
So I can feel that it's like the bow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is where you want to apply it if you want a lifted look. If you want something where you're actually, so some people like to elongate their face a little bit if they feel like their face is too round, something like that. That's when you maybe put it lower if you want it to elongate your face. But other than that, I never see a reason to go below.
Okay.
Everything that you do, you always, like with your skincare and the lymphatic drainage and stuff, how we were bringing it upwards and outwards to lift the face. That's exactly what we're doing with the bronzers and blush.
Okay.
Exact same thing. Because if you're bringing that down, it's the exact same idea with the lymphatic drainage. You're bringing your whole face down, idea.
Yeah.
And then up across those temples as well. So naturally, when we catch the sun, we catch it on those high points of our face. So even though obviously, I think the idea of using the hollows of the cheek came from contouring originally. Then when bronzers became bigger than contour, people were like, hey, I assume we just put this in the same place, it's just a warmer tone. So instead, you want to think about if you're on holiday, which points are actually going to hit the sun first. It would be the higher cheekbone, it would be the bit where your bone is, and it's going to be those temples, because they're obviously slightly protruding on everyone's face. And again, your forehead. Just up there. If you want a really bronzy look, that instantly makes it more bronzy. Now, one of my tips for day to day as well, if you want a more cohesive look, and I've just done it today, use the same colour bronzer that I use on my cheeks, whack it across my eyelid, use the same brush and everything. So I've not got time in the morning to be doing eyeshadow and everything as well. So I literally put a little bit of this over, just blend it in, and it just brings the whole eye look together. And it just makes it look like I put on eyeshadow and I've spent ages, and I've actually taken 2 seconds.
Wow.
And then you can do the same just to create those sort of blend between the eyeshadow and the bronzer, just literally grabbing this as well and just across that side. And then they're all nice and bronzed as well. If you have a little look,
Oh wow.
just see how nice and bronzed we are.
Yeah. Some holiday done.
A little bit across the jaw, not a lot, just to bring it all together there.
Yeah.
So another way that people think of it as well, if you want something easy to remember sort of where you're putting it, is like a number 3. There we go, it's been a long day. Number 3, across there, like so.
Yeah.
3 points, obviously keep your 3 high.
Yeah, okay.
Just like that. And then if you ever felt like your nose was too much of a different colour or anything like that, because obviously you've got the one coming through there, literally just across the side of it, not a proper nose contour, because we don't want anything definitive like that, but whatever's left on the brush, bring it over, and it just brings the whole look together as well. And then my favourite step of anybody's makeup routine is blush. You look 2D when you don't have blush on. Everybody does. And I used to be scared of blush because, like I said, I've got really red cheeks. Then I found coral tones, and coral tones just look so natural and so beautiful and youthful across everybody's skin.
Right, just do one side of the face and then we'll check it out.
Okay. Especially if you've been wearing pink, you're not going to be used to this.
Yeah. Although I did used to wear quite a corally one a few years ago.
What did you think?
I liked it actually because at the time I was living in France and it was quite tanned.
Yeah. It looks really nice with tan skin. It also it brings out sort of those more greeny, yellowy tones in brown eyes. I always think having that coral. Whereas when you go for the pink, it's not complementary against it. Your brown eyes are always going to be warm, whereas your bright pinks are always going to be cool toned.
Yeah.
Just blending that out. Now I like to use this as well when there's too much of a difference between your concealer and your foundation. Use this literally just to blend out those lines really. Just where it's too harsh, just bring it across whatever's left on the brush. It just eases those lines. Now I'm sure you've seen on TikTok as well the pink under eye trend. Have you seen that? No. Okay. So,
oh wow.
Look. Do you like how it's looking?
Yeah, I do.
Do you see the difference?
Yes.
It just looks natural and beautiful.
That's amazing.
It's my favourite shade in the world, honestly. I've gone through about 3 of these the whole time I work. I try and get everybody on it. And it's just bringing out the warm tones.
What's this pink face then?
Pink under eyes. Oh, so people put like blush under their eyes. So it was basically a trend where you mix the pink shades with your concealer and it makes it brighter for the under eye. Now obviously I'm not saying to do anything like that because it can look a bit crazy in person. But by just patting this across there to blend out those lines, it just softens it. And I think that's why some people started doing the pink under eye as well, or they use a pink powder under the eye sometimes, is so that there's not such a line between the blush and your under eye, because sometimes it is quite contrasting.
Yeah.
So just by literally, I'm not making your under eyes pink, I'm just blending it onto you. We don't want pink under eyes, we just want to look more blended, more put together. Now I'm just literally, because obviously the foundation is ever so slightly darker, we're just bringing bronzer tones. I'm looking just down the neck just so it's all blended for us. There's no difference. And then a little bit more setting spray because we put the powder on and now it's flat and matte and we don't want flat and matte.
Yeah.
So we're bringing back that glow. Again, my favourite product.
That does smell lovely actually.
I know, and you don't like perfumes as well.
I know.
Maybe we should start wearing this instead as a perfume.
It's
very subtle.
It's nice and fresh and light, that's why I like it.
And it just cools down your face, doesn't it? Especially in like a department store, it gets so hot. I'm definitely selling my fair share because I rave about it all the time. So I'm just going to go, if you close your eye first, I'm lifting up your eyelid and I'm literally patting this right up against your lash line. It's a really, really thin line I'm creating. And if you have a look in the mirror, you will see the difference. Do you see?
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit darker.
Yeah.
It's more noticeable one to one, but it just keeps it really thin, and then means when we go underneath, you're not going to have this like weird gap, because sometimes there's a weird gap when you do your lashes and stuff if you haven't got something just to darken up that line.
Yeah.
it's just made it a little bit darker for you as well.
Yeah,
Brought out your
definitely
eyes.
Yeah.
Now, do you use it in your waterline? I know you said you want to go around. Do you use it in your waterline at all?
On the top,
okay.
Yes.
Have you ever tried a beige one in your bottom one? Do you like to make your eyes look bigger?
Sorry, just the way it's
right.
said.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay. So, is there, like, do you sometimes think that you want your eyes to look a little bit wider?
Oh God, yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to try the beige one there for you.
Okay.
Because at first you're going to be like, that's dark, that is bright.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But it makes all the difference in the world. You get used to it. It looks a little bit funny for you at first. It doesn't look funny to anybody else. It's just because you're not used to it. But it brightens this bottom line there, which actually makes your eye obviously look bigger. Because if you had more of a white gap between your actual pupil and your waterline, it's going to make your eye look bigger.
Yeah.
That basically creates that false effect of you've got an extra couple of millimetres on your eye to make it look bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll use this on your upper waterline first.
Okay.
If you need to look at something to it, if you concentrate on something for me. Don't concentrate on a light, that's going to make you...
alongside the light.
Okay.
Right, take two.
Okay, there we go. We've got a little smudge under the eye, so I'll just fix that.
Okay. You got that one.
Yeah. I'll just set that just to make sure that's not going to happen again. Okay. I'm going to grab that beige and we're going to give it a go and see what we feel. Right. This is what I'm on about.
Okay.
It looks scary because it's bright.
Right.
Especially if you've got brown eyes, it looks scary. Trust me, it's going to make the eye just brighter and
Okay.
wider. This one should be a bit easier to do than the top. There we go. No problems.
All the way across.
All the way across. All the way across.
Wow. Yeah.
Look, from far, doesn't it make a difference from far away?
It does.
And you can make it a bit stronger as well, because that was just my first pass over. We'll just go in, make it even brighter.
I'm really surprised.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. I love it, yeah. Especially if I've had no sleep.
Yeah.
The difference is crazy, isn't it?
Gosh. Yeah. Because normally it's bringing it all in with the darker eyeliner.
Yeah, black makes your eyes look smaller and you
Yes.
want to make them look bigger because you've got these beautiful brown eyes. But obviously, as you said, because you've got slightly hooded eyes, you probably feel like it's making your eyes a bit smaller. And you want to bring out those beautiful brown eyes and just making it a bit bigger. It makes all the difference. And then obviously, because that looks a bit stark compared to the darkness we've got on the top, just go in with a little brush that we used earlier. Just a little bit of those browns just underneath. Look up. Just sort of smudging out that bottom. Just brings it back together.
Yeah.
Very happy with how it all looks. Might have to be a staple in your makeup, what's that, won't it?
Yeah. So would you wear that during the day?
Yeah, I do. I haven't got
Nighttime,
it on today, but I wear it whenever I just feel like my eyes are a bit dark, maybe I'm not drinking enough water or anything like that. I mean, obviously for you, if you just want that bigger look all the time, it's not too unnatural. It looks quite natural when you look at it, doesn't it? So it is something you can wear every day if you do just want to make your eyes a bit bigger. I use it especially when my under eyes are just a bit too dark or something, or I just feel like I look like I've not had enough sleep. Then it just brings back sort of that brightness to the eye and those lighter points, because it's having something brighter to focus on, which is why we have this sort of brighter inner corner as well. Having something bright to focus on takes your eyes off any of the darkness as well. So it just creates a little bit of distraction that your brain doesn't look at any of the darkness if you've got something really bright to draw your eyes to. So that's just one of my favourite tips. And then because obviously we've done that now, I can use that tiny bit of this lighter shade, just in that inner corner, across there. Again, it's just going to brighten the eyes and make them brighter as well, just bigger eyes. There we go.
So you wouldn't use that at night time though, would you? Because you would obviously want to make your eyes
look bright. The beige. I mean, it's up to you. If you wanted your eyes to look smaller during the day, then you don't have to. But I use it just, like I said, whenever I need sort of more of a refreshed look. I think it just makes me look more fresh. So if I feel like I need that, then that's when I put it on. And I love doing it as well when I have done like a darker eye makeup look. You know, most people think go for blacks because it's going to make it even more smoky, more seductive, all of this. But by having that white, it just gives brightness back to it. Especially if I'm going for like a smoky eye or anything like that, then it's so dark. And because I've got quite light features, if I have anything too dark, I might just look like I've been punched in the face. So by bringing back those light colours, it obviously just makes it sort of look more natural as well. So I just love using it whenever I just need a refresh, to be honest. So just whether you wanted that during the day or night. But obviously in a corner, making it as bold as I have here, you probably want to save that for more nighttime looks if you're not used to your shimmers. But obviously I use a tiny bit, but I use more of my highlighter shade when I'm doing it for day to day. So I've just gone in with our O1 in the highlighter, which I'll use on you in a minute actually. And that's just basically done a more natural version of what we've done with the eye look there. Obviously we haven't got mascara on as well, so that's going to make a huge difference when we put some mascara on. So we'll do that now. So I'm going to use a little bit of our lash max, but I'm going to curl the lashes quickly first actually. There we go. It's hard to get the lashes in. Do you normally use a lash curler or? There we go. Hold on. Back where you go. There we go. So it's just going to lift the lashes for a little bit. This side. My fingers. And then the lash maximizer. Finger again. Perfect.
Remember when to look up or look down.
So this one, obviously you can use this at night as your serum, obviously, but you can also use it obviously just to prime the lashes as well, which is what I'm using it for now.
And I have gone out to the house once with it just on, and my eyelashes were white.
Oh my god. Did you forget to put it on, or were you just waiting for it to absorb?
I was waiting for it to absorb and then I forgot to put my mascara on.
Oh my god. So you can put your mascara straight on after. It's up to you. If you feel like it's a little bit clumpy and that's why you want it to absorb, just run this through beforehand and it just gets rid of any of those clumps and stuff. Because obviously it's got argan oil in it and stuff, so that can clump up a little bit on the lashes, which is why obviously a lot of people sleep in it instead. So just going in with a clean spoolie will just distribute it a little bit better and get rid of any of those clumps if you're going to put your mascara on straight after.
You know when you're looking in the mirror and you think there's something not quite white. What today?
The white lashes.
I flick up white lashes.
Oh my god,
mascara.
no. So, look at my finger again for me. So with this one is my personal favourite mascara. Because it's got the curved wand, it means it's going to lift those lashes and just keep the curl all day. So a lot of the time when people have long lashes, the reason why it doesn't look like you do have long lashes is because they're straight. That's my issue. So by lifting them up and just curling them, just makes them look instantly longer. Because you've got the length there 100%, you just need to obviously lift them up a little bit as well. Okay, look at that, the difference in the mirror. A bit of mascara on.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah. Do you tend to use a little bit on your bottom lashes or do you avoid?
Not really, no.
Okay. Nice.
Usually because I get more on my skin and I do actually.
Okay. It's alright.
I'm just keeping it real.
Did you want to try a little bit at all on the bottom?
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
So I'm only going to do that because I think now that we've obviously got the beige line on, I'm not going in as intense as I have with the top, but because we've got the beige liner on, I think it's the eyelashes on the bottom, again, it's just going to make it a bit bigger.
Okay.
Because I'm not coating from the top of the bottom lashes, I'm coating from the bottom. So it means it's catching the ends of them. If you look up for me, really gently catching the ends of them, and again just making it look bigger, because if I'm only getting the ends of it, you don't see it right from the root, do you?
Yeah.
Have a little look.
Okay.
Really natural.
Oh yes.
The difference it's made.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now we're moving on to brows and then lips. So I'll brush through your brows first with a bit of our brow gel. Now I think you've already got this one. Perfect. This is the same shade as you've got. So. Now, when you fill in your brows, do you tend to do a lot to them, or do you just like to?
Because I've had a problem with my thyroid, my eyebrows are falling out.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been going hypo and hypo with my thyroid.
Okay.
And believe it or not, if you Google it, it says lower third of eyebrow losing your hair.
That's
Right. Yes, exactly. It's bizarre. But anyway, so here it keeps going patchy and growing back.
Okay.
And then just as they get the medication right, it goes off the other scale, the other end, and then it goes off the scale, the other side.
Okay.
So they're either there or not there, so it just depends. But yeah, it's more down this end of the eye.
Okay, yeah. And do you like to do anything a little bit to the front just to make it look a bit more natural front, or?
Yeah, I mean, I try and obviously tidy it in, but I haven't had them shaped or anything in months because I've been having to leave them to try and get them to grow properly.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tip for you: use the lash maximizer on your eyebrows as well.
Yes, I've tried that as well.
Yeah, when you go to sleep, put a bit of that on, and it'll help them grow as well.
Yeah.
I think with a lot of like actual lash serums and brow serums, they actually contain a lot of things that aren't great for being that close to your eye.
Mm-hmm.
So for something like this, when it's just natural products like argan oil and stuff inside it, means that they are safe to use on your eye, and because it's going on your eyelashes, not your actual lash line and stuff, means it's going to be safer. So again, yeah, just continue to use that on your brows as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we want to do is just elongate them out a little bit for you, but keeping it nice and lifted. One of the top tips as well is you don't ever want to bring your tail down too much further than obviously the top, and you want to keep that nice lifted look. So I'm just going to go slightly across there as well, just to bring in the front of the eyebrow. Just by doing a few little hair strokes at the front of the eyebrow, it's going to just make it a little bit softer.
Yeah.
And a little bit more natural. Not doing anything too drastic, just a few little fake brow hairs. Have a little look.
Oh yeah, that's a lot neater. Yes.
Just a little bit at the front, just see the difference it makes. Because obviously, if we sort of have that sort of harsh front, then it can just look a little bit too harsh on the front.
Yeah.
So there's a few little strokes. I didn't do it harsh. I did it really lightly, so that it looks more natural on it.
Yeah.
We've got the highlighter as well to pop on for you. So I'm just going to use the same brush that I used for the powder, just because I like an angled brush for the highlighter. We've gone for a nice golden tone as well. If we're keeping that really nice bronzy look, you've got to go gold for your highlighter. And this pairs really gorgeous with the blush that we went for as well. A little bit on the lips just there, because then it brings out your cupid's bow a little bit more. A tiny bit on the nose, just those points again where the sun would hit you and you'd be glowing. Some people like to bring a tiny bit there, just to bring it all together.
Oh.
Yeah? How everything's looking?
That's strange because my highlighter that I've got, it's pretty much like, it looks like silver.
Okay.
It's like a white one.
Yeah. The silvers are great, but more for cool tone again.
Yeah.
If you've got those lovely warm tones to your skin, you want to bring out the lovely warm tones using more warm tones.
Yes.
For the silvers, again, it's more wintry, it's going to dull your skin.
Yeah.
If you're focusing on wanting to look more tan, more bronzy, then you want to use those colours that are warm and complement it, rather than using the contrasting colours that can then just make you look a little bit dull instead.
Yeah.
So really focus on you, especially. with the brown tones as well, you can bring in those golds. Obviously, we use those lovely golds across the lid as well. That's all just going to make the brown in your eyes pop as well. Warm tones, warm tones, warm tones if you can. Okay. One last spray, set and spray, and then the lips.
So I think I'm going to be having a clear out of my makeup when I get home. Just get rid of all the old stuff.
There we go. So this is what I mean when I go through one of 3 months, it's because I have to spray about 5 times in every makeup I do. So. Right, lips. So this is in the shade 525, and it has sort of that slightly metallic finish like the lipstick does as well. Let's see if I can actually get it to sharpen for us. Might be one of the last ever people to get to use this one. Before it dies. There we go.
As long as it doesn't snap in the pencil sharpener.
Just jinxed it. It's alright. Right, it's because we've got so much here as well. We've got so many brushes. Okay, we can make that work. So I'm going to do it nice and gently. Just across. I don't want to create any too harsh lines because then that can look too full. And because we're going for more of that glossy lip anyway, it will kind of blend out the lip liner for us as well. So all it's doing is obviously just stopping everything from bleeding. So it's more of a pinky one, which is this one that we're going for. I'm just going to put it on. Yeah, that colour's gorgeous on there. It's because it's got those nice warm tones to it, see? Things out the colours.
Oh yes.
Just quite a little bit. And with this one as well, it's got a nice sparkle to it, so it just catches the light, which makes it look glossy anyway. I'm just focusing it on the outer bit there, just to blend out that lip liner, because we didn't want it too harsh or anything. And then some gloss as well. Finish it off, you can't ever do anything without a bit of gloss. There we go, rub that in for us. Have a little look in the mirror and check you're happy with that colour.
Oh yes.
Yeah, do you like the colour?
I love it. Yeah.
Perfect. It's a little bit different. If you're used to having those browns all the time, it's nice to have something with a bit of pink, a bit of red tone to it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look at it with the blush as well. Wasn't it alright? It goes lovely with the blush.
Yeah, it does. And it doesn't look, when it's on, it doesn't look too pinky, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. It looks kind of natural, but it's got a nice brightness to it.
Yes.
That it doesn't make you look washed out. I always think browns sometimes blend too much. It can wash you out a little bit.
Yeah, and very brown.
Yeah.
Brown from head to toe.
Yes. Especially if you're keeping your brown eyeshadows as well. It's nice to have a little pop of colour once in a while.
Yes.
Yeah. So to start off, we used our milk cleanser. This is just a little bit more hydrating than your typical micellar water, and it just softens the skin whilst removing the makeup. Then we also went in with our Prestige serum. Now this uses the Rose de Granville, which is a strong and powerful rose that reduces and reverses signs of ageing, penetrates the skin more than a traditional serum or a moisturiser as well. We used our brand new Hyaluronic shot at Dior, which has 4 different types of hyaluronic acid, which help to plump and rejuvenate any fine lines, and it's also used under the eyes. You can also use it on your lips to give them more of a plump feeling. Our moisturiser we used was the Capture Total range. Now this uses stem cells from plants to regenerate the skin. It's a really nice moisturiser and it is deeply hydrating. We allowed that to settle into the skin by starting with the eyeshadow. So we used the 2N concealer, which is the concealer we also use for the under eye later on, to create a base. And then we continued with our Backstage eye palette. The Nude Essentials eye palette from the Backstage has these beautiful brown tones along with some golds, which brought out the warmth of the skin. After that, we went in with our primer. So the primer was the Glow Veil primer. Now this uses a water locking method to lock that hydration into the skin, giving a beautiful glow all day. Even though it is a primer, you can use it when you're not wearing makeup as well, if you want a really nice glowy skin. After that, we went in with our foundation. So this is the Forever Skin Glow. Now the Forever Skin Glow is 86% skincare based, which gives a really beautiful glow to the skin. We went in with a 3N for this shade. And then we continued with the concealer I mentioned earlier, the 2N in the Forever Concealer, which has a flower in it that stimulates the blood circulation under the eye, which is great for blemishes as well. Then we went in with our Velvet Powder. This one we used in the same shade as the foundation, so it's a 3N. And it just helps to blur out any pores or blur out any blemishes on the skin and set any of the products in place. So we used it mainly to set our concealer and the T-zone. We wanted to create a really bronzy look, so we went in with the shade 05 in the bronzer and focused on the higher points of the cheek rather than the cheekbones itself. So we created this really lifted look by focusing it on the bones. Then we went in with the 028 in our Rouge Couture blush. This one has a beautiful coral tone to it. So corals bring out the warmth and it's more natural on the skin than a typical pink blush. After this, we then used a highlighter on top of the blush. So the highlighter brought back the beautiful glow to the skin and then also focused on the high points for this. We set that all in place with our amazing fixing and setting spray. This is all natural origin, so it rehydrates the skin whilst locking all the products into place, giving a beautiful glow when the powders have been used. After that, obviously we went back to the eyes, so we focused in on the brows using our On-Stage Set Brow. This is like a brow gel with a tint of colour, so we used it in the shade Dark Brown, which filled in any of the actual brow hairs with some colour, and then paired this with our crayon brow pencil, which just filled in any sparse areas of the brow. Also for the eyes, we used the black crayon eyeliner, which is waterproof, on the upper parts of the eye. So we used it in the upper waterline and across the lash line to create more depth to the eye. We then used the beige Dior Show crayon, which we used in the bottom waterline to brighten and make the eye look a lot bigger as well. With the mascaras, we used our Dior Maximizer first. So this maximizer helps to grow the lashes using argan oil. So you can use it as a serum at night or a primer before the mascara. We used it as a primer today, which we then followed with the Overcurl mascara, which has a curved one to lift and lengthen the lashes. We then also used our Dior Addict lipstick. So the Dior Addict lipstick has a beautiful shine to it and almost feels glossy because it's so hydrating. We used this in the shade 526, which is called Mallow Rose. It's a beautiful reddish tone pink. And we paired this again with the 525 lip liner. And then we topped that all off with our Dior Lip Maximizer. This is a staple in any routine with hyaluronic acid to plump the lip up and give the deep hydration with the cherry oil as well. There we go.
Just wanted to pop on here and say, this is the final look. I'm going to get her to top up my lipstick, only because I've been having a little bit of a drink. I'll drink your booze. And then that's it, we're done. She's just put everything through the till, and I've got some fantastic makeup. I'm just blown away with everything that she's done. I absolutely love it. So Charlie, I love you to bits, and finish off this vlog in a minute. Right, so this is the finished makeup. And thank you very much to Charlie for doing the makeup today. And I have some goodies that I've bought. And thank you very much, and I'll see you again, Dior, next week. I had a really busy day yesterday and I didn't get a chance to do the unboxing of everything that I bought at Dior. So here's the bag. Let's have a look. And I haven't done any makeup or anything yet because I'm waiting to try out the new things I've bought. So I have a little freebie here. They did show me this. This colour is divine. It is so gorgeous. Look at the baby pink on that. It's so soft. It's a little makeup pouch. Yeah. Oh. Thought it was just packaging. What's inside this then? It is just packaging. Just packaging. I should class silica gel as a gift. Right. Now Charlie said she was going to pop everything into a box. Wow, it's too nice to open. All the bits and pieces that she's given me, the paperwork and everything. Move that back to one side. Oh, I don't want to open this. It's beautiful. Do you know what? I think I want a man that could buy me a gift and wrap it up like this. Or get it wrapped like this. Because I never get anything like this when I treat myself. Ladies, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Lid's coming off. Okay. Oh wow, okay. Let's have a look what we've got inside then. So we've got, oops. I'm going to drop everything. I'm not well today. So we have J'adore l'eau, a Miss Dior, one that went on the floor. Oh, a sample of the Prestige Rose Oil. We have, what's this? Oh, the cream. It's the Prestige Cream, facial cream, I believe. I've yet to actually try that out because I'm still making use of the Lancome things that I have. Capture Total. Then I think we're down to my purchases. So in no particular order, I purchased the Colour Intense, the Dior Addict. The lipstick is in 526 Mallow Rose, and that's the one obviously that she used in the makeover. All the things that she used on me, if I hadn't gotten them or I liked the colours, then I purchased them. This is the Dior On Stage Crayon, the waterproof, and I believe this is the, yeah, it's the beige 529. So I'm just going to go in and show you this. Oh, and a nice little surprise from when I had the previous eyeliner. What was the eyeliner? Must have been. It actually comes with a pencil sharpener as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, this is the beige one. And what she was saying is, that's the sponge for smudging it the other side. What she said is, if you want your eyes to appear brighter and whiter, use the beige in the waterline at the bottom. So I will be giving that a shot in a moment. Just have a sneak peek at the lipstick as well, because I can't remember, I've slept since. Yeah, so this is the Mallow Rose 526. Oh, I haven't got packaging like this. This is one. Aha. Now that's very similar to one that I've got at the moment from Lancome. I'm going to have to get them out and check. But yeah, I'm obviously drawn to the same similar colours. That's that. The eye palette. Now I went for the eye palette because it got different colours in from the other eye palette I'd got from Dior previously. So this is more sort of day to night wear, but it's got a lot of colours in it. And it is the 001 Nude Essential. And let me just give you a quick sneak peek of the colours. So as she showed on the video, she used numerous ones of these, and the colours are amazing. I do think sometimes it's the way they apply it rather than the actual colours themselves. Rouge blush. I'd got rid of all my other blushes. I'd only got the pinky one. And this one is, I didn't tell you what it was, did I? 028, something satin, which I cannot see. Atrice satin. Okay, and that's that. So she was saying about corally colours for my skin tone and my colours, because my skin is actually quite dark. It doesn't show it on camera, and sometimes I'm anemic, so I do look really pale, but I tan very easily, and the light pinks are okay if I'm just having like a nude skin kind of day, but the corally colours are more for going out. Then the highlighter. So this is Forever Couture Luminizer, and the colour is, it's upside down, Nude Glow. Okay, so that's a nude thing going on here. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is so luxurious. Oh my gosh. Actually feels luxurious. I can't open it. Okay, so that's the highlighter. You can see that. That packaging is divine. Then, fixing spray. So I had a long discussion about the fixing spray with her, and I was in two minds because I'm actually using the Urban Decay. And I asked her about what's the difference between a fixing spray and a setting spray. And she said this is both. So this is just the just Forever Fixing Spray. Lovely clear packaging. And I won't spray it now, but it does smell lovely, absolutely lovely. And I'm not normally a scented kind of person. I don't like many fragrances, things like that. And then finally we have the lip liner pencil, and we went for 525 Cherie. Let's have a look at this then. Whoops. Okay, so it's another sharpener, thank goodness. And there's a brush on the end for applying. Just needs a bit of softening up a bit. And then, whoops, it's weird, okay. But that's the colour. I don't know if I've just done that, if it was like that in the packaging. Okay, but that's the lip liner, obviously, to go with the new lipstick. So I'm going to give those all a go now. I'm doing some filming later because I'm recording my first podcast of the series for Tech Talks and Soul Walks. So I need my makeup on. I'm actually back at Dior this week on Wednesday, so I'll vlog that as well. And in the meantime, pop back next time. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button if you want the notifications for when the next video goes up. And I'll see you in the next video.